laid down ultimatums that make it appear that you are not serving the best interests of the movie?
Well, I'm always serving the best interest of the movie, and you just don't know that.
So you're just not that communicative in the casting audition?
What do you want me to say? They have a thing that they've prepared. If you're not connecting with someone, just
let it go.
Let it go. You know, now I'm hearing, if I'm not connecting with someone, I should like pull out my wallet and pull out my pictures and we should swap stories or some shit like that. You know,
apart from casting, John,
but it's
where
always
have you been thwarted?
But this has all just started.
Where have you been thwarted in terms of the rest of the movie besides familial issues? Or does it begin and end there? And if it does, then yes, I'm sorry, we are thwarting your vision big time. Choose your battles wisely, John, and fight for what's realistic and right for the movie. Your family is another issue. It is not the movie, it is your security blanket.
This is just something that would just have to be resolved down the line in time.
I hope it's resolved right now.
It's just ridiculous. It's stupid. It's asinine.
If he comes back tomorrow talking about an epiphany of his family, I'll call Chris Moore myself.
Well, don't pull that off the... Put that back and stop it.
No. Take these off, yeah. They say stuff like, you're not doing it for the good of the film and stuff like that. And that's the one thing I am doing it for, because that's all I have, you know. The Gulligers don't have to do this. That's fine, you know. I'll just do it alone. And if that's, if they think that that's going to make it easier for me, you know, they think that that's going to make the project better, well, they're probably wrong. You know, I don't know why they're saying that. You know, what right? You know, they have to say that. But you're what I want for the part, and I should be able to have those tools. That's when I know that they don't respect me. That's when I know that I have no pull. That's when I know that I'm just, you know, just this contest winner.
But that's the way it is. Nepotism is frowned on in many industries.
Well, it certainly helped us.
I feel the environmental aspect of family has a lot to do with art. I've been thinking about the conversation I had the other day on nepotism and thought to myself that if nepotism had been carried to some extreme, that the Carradines and the Bridges and the Coppolas and the Barrymores and Bruce and Laura Dern, Henry and Jane Fonda and Peter Fonda, those people may not ever have happened.
We have tons more people to see for your part. Of course, I'm not supposed to say your part because everybody gets so upset. If the family was involved with the film, it'll just make the film so much better than if they're not. It's just a different film. Tom and Diane and Clue and Hannah, you know, they're part of the kind of film that I would want to make. They just don't like what we like. They don't like the tone that we like. They don't like the stuff we do. So I got to talk to you about casting and stuff. I was thinking about shooting a little screen test.
John came in today and he had this notion, wild as it may seem, that he's going to fly to New York to meet Bob Weinstein in person and to pitch him on 4 of his family members to star in the movie Feast. And I'm hoping John will realize what he should and shouldn't fight for.
Everybody says you have to pick your battles. Well, you know, this is the battle I've picked right now.
My opinion is that Bob and Harvey are guys that respond to passion. If you don't get what you want, you still need to be standing next to me directing that movie. Because if that's where you crack and fail, then I'm like befuddled and completely abandoned.
Well, I mean, you don't think that they would just fire me first?
No, I think they would say, do this. Don't, you're not doing that, you're doing this. And then your reaction then will decide if they fire you or not.
Yeah, it's possible.
I just want, John, you directing this movie if those people aren't in it.
All right.
That's all I ask. Otherwise, do whatever you need to do.
our director,
Yeah.
he wants to go directly to Bob, hop on a plane if necessary, and fly to New York and go, this is my directorial vision. My goddaughter as Honey Pie, Tom as Beer Guy, Diane as Tuffy, and Clue as bartender.
John wants to fly to New York and personally ask Bob to cast his family. No, there's just no way that's that.
Now you get me excited. Nick.
Great. I mean, that's easy for you to say, but you know, I work for this company. I'll be fucking out on the street if I let these guys involved.
But here's the thing, is you just let the guy go and hang
If
himself.
I hear one whisper that guy's in New York, the fucking movie's off, I'll hold his blood.
We're here in front of Maloof Television. These are the brothers, or the family that own the Sacramento Kings. They also own the Palms Hotel in Vegas, and they're getting into the film business. And Sean Bailey, our partner at Live Planet, has a relationship with the brothers.
We need to find additional money for that extra week of shooting that's critical to making this movie the way it needs to be made.
I'm hoping that if the Maloofs hear a real pitch of feast instead of some call from a lunatic on the side of the road on a radio station, that they might get involved in this movie.
So what I wanted to take the opportunity here was, knowing you guys are, ramping up on the TV side very quickly, but also looking to speed up the movie side a little bit, is have these guys talk you through the movie a little bit. You got the script, I know.
Absolutely, yeah.
But also what the varying levels of money get the production, and why it matters.
The two largest areas that the money goes to, which is why we think it's important, why Dimension actually agrees with us, which is why they're willing to sell rights or sell, a piece of the movie to somebody, is the sort of gags, if you will. The monsters combined with the set, combined with the time to be able to shoot those things.
Can you do that on a $4 million budget? I mean, even with the kind of physical gags that you're doing?
There's 2 or 3 big moments that you really want to deliver on, and if you have the extra 5 days, you can take maybe a whole day to work on just one big moment.
Right.
Whereas if you don't, you can't get all that going.
We are trying to shoot a 40-day schedule in 20 days, so every dollar is badly needed to get us additional days.
Basically, the $500,000 that Sean talked to you about gets us a week more to shoot, which is vital. That's what the critical issue is here.
The longer we wait to get that extra money, the more meaningless it becomes, because we're going to set certain things in motion. Some of them we can't back down on. We're going to build a certain level of set. We're going to go with a certain level of creature. It's really, really important that we resolve this.
How involved is Wes Craven?
He's giving script notes, he comes to meetings, he calls actors, he gives us, sends in names of people he'd be willing to call. Once we sign off on the budget, he's going to spend some time with the director, because our goal is to make sure everybody makes money this time, because quite honestly, if we don't make money for Dimension, if we have other investors or people, it'll probably go away.
What I would love to be able to see, if you can do it, is maybe take a look at the director's reel or get a sample of his work. And
Absolutely.
if it's possible to take a look at what the rendering would be of the creature, because I think that's also a key part of the story.
I was very encouraged by that meeting. They had a lot of good questions. They seemed to get the film that we're trying to make. If we could get Maloof Motion Pictures involved with Feast, it would be huge.
Yeah, Mike Major. It's really great to meet you. Thank you. Great to meet you.
This guy calls a radio talk show to try to get our movies funded.
Yeah, no,
And then we wind up talking to those guys like real people, thanks to you and Sean. Already you've gotten more options in play than I ever thought you'd be able to pull off, so.
well, Joel, I'm a salesman.
It is a hell of a lot of fun.
John rethought the whole casting issue and felt that he was being railroaded a bit, even though I think he trusts everybody. And when Nick Phillips says, this is how you deal with Bob on casting issues, Bob
wants to fly to New
jump on a
York.
plane. After shooting this weekend a scene with all of his choices, do a screen test in a bar with his wife, his dad, his brother, his goddaughter, shoot it, cut it together, and in the middle of next week, fly to New York and say, Bob, I want a meeting. These are the people I want in the film, and I'll show you why, because you'll see how brilliant it is.
Oh my God.
Mike and I kind of disagreed on the downside. He didn't see a huge downside for John. I see a big one because...
Well, I'm gonna tell you, just telling me the story, you've already started the downside. So I'm gonna give you guys, I'm gonna give you the ability right now in this conversation to ask me based on literally as a personal favor to you guys to pretend I never heard this story, because I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do if I did hear this story. He'll be fired.
Coming up next on Project Greenlight.
The director falling apart is not a good use of money, right? So my point is...
But we can't change that.
Yes, we can. He's fired. Next Thursday on Project Greenlight.
I'm thrilled with the cast.
I didn't think it worked.
An all-new Project Greenlight on a new night. Next Thursday at 10, only on Bravo. Watch what